made a Thanksgiving cauliflower roast from Monkey and Me Adventures on Thanksgiving. It's January 1st of 26. I can't stop thinking about that. And Joe is making himself a nice dinner, so I decided I'm going to make this for myself. I just did it with the cauliflower cut up, but look at this deliciousness. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways. I'm Sheila and my husband Joe's behind the camera. It is January 1st, 2026. Happy New Year, everyone. So obviously most everybody watching probably is in the same boat as Joe and I. You indulged a little bit too much for several weeks now. We didn't do as bad as we've done in previous years, but we can always do better. So today's January 1st, Joe's making himself a big old piece of prime rib. And so what I wanted was this dish I made for myself on Thanksgiving that I cannot stop thinking about. It's from Monkey and Me Adventures. It's called Thanksgiving roast. I forget exactly. I will link it in the comments. But so the way I did it exactly the way they told me to on Thanksgiving, where you actually leave the cauliflower whole and you put the veggies around it. But I would have liked it a little bit more tender. So I decided this time when I make it, I'm not going to leave the cauliflower whole. I'm going to cut it into bigger chunks. So that's what we're doing. And there's instructions. They did a good job of telling you like different options. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing to adapt because I don't have necessarily all the ingredients they do. And so when I subbed, everything was just fine. So what veggies do I have? I've got red potatoes. I've cut them into chunks. I don't have as much as they said, the pound, because I wanted other veggies. I've got celery. I've got carrots. This is all stuff that we cut up to eat on New Year's Eve that we didn't eat at all, so this is perfect. I have mushrooms, so I cut these big honk of mushrooms, just button mushrooms in half, and onions, because I do like me some onions. The only thing I haven't added to it is the cauliflower. So these, I think, are just fine. This is going in the Instant Pot. It's only going to take 11 minutes. And then you're going to release the pressure. So, but like this one here, I'm going to cut it in half because like I said, I like the vegetables more tender than not. So I want to make sure that that happens. The Instapot, it's going to happen. But these I'm going to leave whole. And I don't know, it's got to be the combination of all these ingredients. The gravy that this makes is just phenomenal. And it makes while it's cooking. And it's got to be all these different ingredients. It is phenomenal. So first there's this spice mixture, and it's got onion and garlic and rosemary and thyme and ground mustard. Yes, I did go to the store and I bought the ground mustard and I bought the thyme because I can use that in other recipes. And then I had a mix of like a no salt seasoning and I added it and it was perfect. So I did invest in the thyme and the mustard at Thanksgiving. It was totally worth it. And then you make this wet ingredient mixture, and it's got water and broth and miso and nutritional yeast, maple syrup. It calls for tamari. I don't have tamari, so I use low sodium soy sauce. And then it calls for almond butter, and I don't keep almond butter in the house, so I use tahini. So those are the adaptations I've made. It worked fine on Thanksgiving, so I have no doubt that it's going to work here. But you do these things separate. Oh, and it is tomato paste. So I think the tomato paste helps to give it this richness that it has. So Joe does not eat this, but he did agree that he's going to try a potato that's in the gravy because I want him to try the gravy. That's what I really want him to try. I'm not going to make him eat cauliflower because I know he doesn't like cauliflower. So all she says is that you put everything in the Instant Pot and then you pour the liquid over it. And then you pour this spice mixture and then you mix everything up. And then you put it in the Instant Pot. It's that simple. Now, if you do the whole head, there's a little bit more steps in there. When I did it at Thanksgiving, I had a pretty huge piece of cauliflower. So I ended up roasting it, which she does give you adaptions for that. But today, I need the Instant Pot because I'm running a little behind Joe's stuff being done. So I want to make sure mine gets done. So I'm just stirring this all up. And now I'm going to lock this thing up, and it's going to go on for 11 minutes. And we'll be back and show you what it's all about. Okay, guys, we are back. And here is the Thanksgiving cauliflower. Now, there is a recipe, or she does have a tip that you take all this out and then you add some cornstarch and you make a gravy. I'm fine with the thickness of this gravy right now because it will thicken up as it cools and I reheat it. I'm anxious for this for lunch tomorrow. I'm having this today, but I cannot wait to eat this at lunch tomorrow. So the cauliflower is nice and tender. The potatoes are done. So Joe said he'd try the potatoes, and so he could try the gravy. So Joe, why don't you come on in? So I'm going to have a piece of the carrot and a little piece of, I can't believe those ingredients. I would never put like almond butter. In this case, I use tamari. I wouldn't put these kinds of ingredients together to come up with this sauce. And I put lots of sage that Joe grew. Not good?
Basically tastes like
Thanksgiving.
Well, no, I was thinking like if you did a pot roast and you had the potatoes and onions.
Yes.
The potatoes have that same taste and texture.
Yes. Now, at Thanksgiving, I did make the gravy. I did the cornstarch because I had done the whole cauliflower. And my mom and dad were here, and my mom thought that gravy was better than the turkey gravy that they had with their turkey.
It's got a little zing to it.
Right? It's just something about it. Comforting.
It's not bad at all.
See, there you go. So you don't have to use, you could actually do this and probably put your meat on the side, right? I mean, this would be, I'm telling you guys, you got to give this a try. I shout out to Monkey and Me Adventures. They rocked it out of the park with this recipe. And it's January 1st, so I'm getting ready to dig into this, and I'm going to have leftovers. I cannot wait. All this veggie and deliciousness. So thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.